Hi everyone, so this video isn't meant to be the video that's going up today. I had one scheduled, ready to go, blah blah blah, etc. But I have to make this video because basically the police are making me severely unwell. They know that I'm not well, both physically and mentally. I've got severe depression and anxiety, and they keep doing things that is making both of those things worse. When I first started a case with the police 7 months ago now, I was okay. I was a little bit down, but I was fine. I wasn't anxious, I wasn't nervous. Now I'm an absolute nervous wreck. Every time I hear a door slam outside my house, I jump, I get panicky, I start shaking because I think it's the police. The police have been round twice, 3 times this week, various times during each time. They came Tuesday, they came Wednesday twice, I believe, and they came today twice. All of these times without ringing and telling me first. Right, the police know I have severe anxiety. Now, I think the police need to look up anxiety and how it affects people, because I've actually told a police officer, Melissa, that having people turn up at the house is unacceptable because of my anxiety. I can't cope with people just turning up because of how it makes me feel, especially because I'm not very confident as well. So for the police to keep turning up and banging on my door, knowing that and knowing that I've got anxiety, is wrong. They did it yesterday and I wasn't here, and my dad rang me and he's like, the police are outside the house, they want to speak to you. And not because I'm in trouble, for the people who are watching this think I'm in trouble. And I said, well, I'm not at home, I've just left the doctor's. So he rang back and he said, she's obviously not at home, please can you ring in future? So he said he would ring in future before they came round, because obviously just turning up and banging on my door, because they don't knock like normal people, they do the police knock, which stresses me out. So I was walking around the shop and my phone was on silent, and I looked at my phone a couple of times because I was expecting my dad to text me to tell me if he wanted anything from the shop. So I'm already anxious because I'm outside the house and I'm a nervous wreck outside the house without a panic alarm, which I've been told days ago they were going to sort out a new one for me, and that's not happened, which is making my anxiety skyrocket. So I look at my phone, I've got a missed call, so I text my dad and I said, you know this number? And he went, yeah, it's the policeman that's trying to get hold of you. So I said, well, I'm in the shop, you know, can you ask him to just leave me alone? Because the fact that I knew that he'd been to my house was making me very anxious, and I was having a bit of a panic attack in the middle of Asda, to be honest. So I finished the shop, get to check out, look at my phone, he's left another missed call. So that sends me into a bit of a meltdown, and I'm like panicking and my heart's racing, and I'm thinking, what's so urgent that you just can't wait till tomorrow? You know I'm at the shop, why are you banging on my door and ringing me? I don't understand. So I got to my car and I'm like speaking to my dad, I'm like, this needs to stop, they can't just keep turning up and doing this to me. They know I'm not well, I was in hospital at weekend, I'm still severely unwell, both physically and mentally. I mean, I know physically I don't look ill, but I am so unbelievably ill. The doctor was shocked that I look so well. He's like, you really should look quite ill with what's wrong with you at the moment. And I'm like, maybe it's good lighting or good makeup, I don't know, but I am very, very ill. So my dad said, oh, he's probably gone home now, because it was like after 6 o'clock or something. So I come home and I'm like, they can't keep knocking on the door like this and just turning up. And he said, well, I've told them. So today they come round and start banging on the door, and I'd actually been up most of the night and I'd fallen asleep quite late on in the morning, and I was asleep and all I heard was bang 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 on the door. So not only does it wake me up and makes me jump, but my heart starts pounding because I knew it was the police because of the knock. And I ring my dad up, I'm like, the police are banging on the door, I thought you told them to ring me. And he went, have you not got any missed calls? I went, no, my phone's switched on next to me, and obviously I'm speaking to you, so no. So he rings them up and he tells them to go away. I don't think he used those words, but he's like, you can't just turn up. So I go out and I'm out and I get a phone call and he's like, where are you? I'm outside the house. This is a different one, not the one that rang me yesterday. And I said, well, I'm not telling you. I've asked for the last couple of weeks to speak to a certain policewoman there, and it's leaving me highly distressed not being able to speak to her. And you know, obviously I was in hospital Sunday, and when I spoke to the certain doctors on Monday, they said that not speaking to her Sunday is what caused the main reason Sunday happened. Obviously I have things I want to say to her and I need to say to her, because obviously she's been involved in my life for 8 months and I don't want to use it as a counsellor. It's nothing to do with counselling, because she keeps going on about that. She's the last person I'd see as a counsellor, because she has upset me quite a lot, to the point where I took off to Devon for a week because of some of her comments to me. It's nothing to do with counselling. She's had her say to me, and there's things I want to say to her as well. And I think, you know, she promised me Sunday night she would give me as much time as I wanted, which was a lie. And apparently she doesn't lie, and she'll probably justify it with, I had to say what I had to say to get you to give yourself your location up. But everyone knows, including my dad, I would have given my location up to her regardless of what she said. So I want to have a conversation with her. I've been trying to have a conversation with her for about 3 weeks now. The last time she got me in, she put me in a room with another woman who thought it was appropriate to make comments on what I was saying, even though she'd never met me. And it left me so distressed. I was in tears by the time I got home. And my dad was like, what's wrong? And I told him, and he's not happy I speak to the police anyway, because he doesn't particularly like them. So Sunday wouldn't have happened if I got to say what I want to say. And the doctors have said that as well. And they said, well, you need to explain why you need to say these things and how it's affecting you, and how not saying these things and speaking to her in person will affect you. So I've emailed her and I've told her the various reasons why. And I said, like, the doctors have said that it's detrimental to my health if I don't get to see them, and if all contact stops 100% with you. Because obviously the case finished in November, yet she's carried on contacting me as well and been encouraged to contact me and talk to me. So the doctors feel that if she's taken away fully from me and I can't contact her and have even a little bit of contact with her now and then, that it will be detrimental to my health. I've explained this in emails. My dad's tried to explain it to them, but they're not listening. So they've basically caused this. When I met them in September, I was fine. I was just a little bit down because of what was going on, but other than that, I wasn't the way I am. And the more involvement that they have and the more things they do when I'm telling them, you can't do this, you can't come and bang on my door without ringing me up and saying, can we come and see you, or can we meet you, or something like that. They're just turning up and banging on my door. Every time I hear a car door shut outside now, it makes me jump, and I'm scared to death of the police now. There's other incidences that have happened that have really upset me, and a police officer has lied to me because, well, not to me but about me, and made me out to be someone I'm not, which obviously has been discussed. And you know, they said I've said things that I haven't to someone else who has actually said, well, no, she didn't say these things, but this certain police officer has acted inappropriately. He shouldn't even be able to come to me at my house or have any involvement with me, because he is friends with someone, my ex, that obviously the original case was about. So I think it was unprofessional that he was able to come to this house, not only on Sunday, which involved him telling a massive lie about me, and also come on Tuesday and lie to his colleagues and say that I'd said things on Sunday which altered the way that they treated me. Like, they said I didn't have a bruise on my face. Well, I took a picture of my face before they arrived which shows the bruise, and I took pictures afterwards and over the course of the evening showing the development of the bruise. So the police have lied, and I got treated badly because of his comments. But I keep telling them the reasons why I need to speak to this police officer, what my doctors have said, and the doctors are quite high up, and they're saying that the police behaviour is being very detrimental towards my mental health. And today I had to go out for hours because of them turning up at my house. I can't cope with them keep doing this to me. The policewoman Melissa knows this, and I've told her plenty of times in the past that you just can't turn up here and bang on my door like that. You need to knock like normal people knock. It's not fair that I'm in bed, I don't sleep at night, which is hard enough, but for them to bang on the door like I've done something wrong is really bad. I'm a nervous wreck because of the police and what's gone on recently, and I'm getting worse and worse and worse. I can't cope with what they're doing, and I shouldn't have to put this video on the internet to talk about what they're doing to me and the state they're getting me into. I drove away from my town today because I can't cope with people just banging on my door expecting to see me. I'm really, really ill, like physically ill. There's two things wrong with me at the moment physically, and they're both pretty bad, and they're both not making me feel good about myself. Like, I am majorly unwell and I actually should be in hospital. So the fact that I had to take myself away from the house so I'm not put under pressure by the police, I shouldn't have to do that. I should be able to lie in bed and relax. I don't need this pressure that I'm getting. And I've told them how I'm feeling. Maybe I've not told them 100% how I'm feeling, but they know about my anxiety. My dad's rung up and he said, you can't keep banging on the door. It's wrong. It is making her unwell. You need to ring her up and ask if you can come and see her. You can't just come to my house. They are making me feel like I've done something wrong. This is really detrimental to my health. Like, I've been on the phone to my dad in tears a lot this afternoon, and he's getting pissed off because of it. And it's not fair that I'm having to film this video to just say, like, they need to back off. They really need to back off. They can't just come to my house and pound on the door like that. Like, I'm a nervous wreck because of them. I was fine when all this started in September. I was confident, I was happy, I was going to work, I had zero anxiety. Now I'm an absolute nervous wreck all the time, and it's not fair. And, you know, when my dad's telling him, like, please ring her, don't just come round. And if I don't answer, still don't come round, just please. It's really, really destroying me. And, like, when I answered the phone to him, he weren't very sensitive to the situation. I'm not a well person. I don't need this kind of pressure. It's too much for me. I just feel like disappearing and no one finding me because I just want to be left alone. I don't want them pounding on the door. I don't need this kind of pressure. They can't just turn up. Now I don't even want to be in my own house. I want to change my car. I don't want my car. I don't want them knowing where I am. And it's wrong how they're making me feel. And, like, the doctors are like, you need to tell them. And I'm telling them, and they're still just turning up and banging on my door. I don't need this. I'm a nervous wreck because of it. I shouldn't have to remove myself from my house. Like, I was meant to go to work today, and I've missed out on a day's wages or an afternoon's wages because I had to get away because I can't cope with them just turning up at my house like this. It's honestly too much for me. So please, if you're watching this, you need to back off. I was fine in September, and all this is just making me more and more unwell. There was nothing wrong with me in September. I was absolutely fine. I didn't want to do any of this, and, like, I'm trying to make bloody statements. I tried to make one in December, I got ignored. I tried to make one in September about someone else, and another one in, I think, November, and not October, and they're just getting ignored. And I disclosed something to Melissa 6 weeks ago, and again, nothing's been done. And I disclosed something to Melissa 2.5 weeks ago, something very serious, and that's been ignored as well. It's like, no wonder I'm like this, because the police are meant to protect me, and they owe me a care of duty, but they're not. They're just making me really ill, coming around and pounding on the door all the time. It's just wrong. It really is. It's just stressing the hell out of me, and I can't cope with it. You're making me so unwell mentally. I was fine in September. My medical records show I was fine, and they show that every time that I go to the doctors and I've had contact with police officers, it's making me ill. Even my GP knows that Sunday wouldn't have happened if I got to say what I said, and she keeps saying, explain it. I went, I've explained it, yet it's still being ignored. You just need to stop coming and pounding on my door, because I'm just going to leave and never come back. I can't be here and you just constantly turn up without ringing.